And at my house, let me tell you, it is a boob party every day. So sometimes my wife and I will have these debates about who is more gay. She'll be like, look at you. You're wearing a sports bra. You got no plans to exercise. 7 flannel shirts in your closet. That's one for every homo day of the week. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're more gay because you love all this. It's just soft, you know? See, conversations like this make it hard to believe that I was straight married to a man for 12 years. See, sometimes it's not that you're afraid to come out, it's just that it takes a really long time for you to realize things about yourself. See, I grew up in Indiana, and I didn't know a single other queer person. The only allusion to lesbians that I knew of was in Prince's Purple Rain album. I don't know if you remember this song. Wendy, yes, Lisa. Is the water warm enough? Yes, Lisa. Shall we begin? Yes, Lisa. And I was like, that's interesting. But you know, these are like celebrity, like bath-taking lesbians. These are not people in my world, you know, so it didn't seem, you know, and when I was growing up, there were lots of signs that I was not exactly gender conforming, right? Like I would not touch a doll with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't wear dresses after the age of 4. And I played a lot of softball, which is, I don't know if you know this, a gateway sport. You know, so in my 20s, you know, I met my husband, actually, and he really did feel like a best friend. And we built a life together. You know, we bought a house, we moved to Atlanta, and I started coaching softball and watching so many lesbian movies late at night. But you know, we had a good time together and we had a lot of laughs, and that is why it was very, very hard to leave him. But I finally did, and at the age of 36, I finally told him that I was gay. And then once I told him over that hurdle, then I had to tell all of my friends. And the first group of friends that I told was my gay lady friends, you know, and this was really nerve-wracking because these are like authentic, like real lesbians, and I was just feeling like a poser, you know. I remember telling them, we were in the living room, there's about 6 of us, and you know, I finally got up the nerve and I was like, guys, see, I think I'm probably, like, most likely gay, you know. And I waited for the reaction, and they said, well, honey, we knew. We've known for a long time. You know, look, you've got the REI bag instead of a purse. Loafers, really? Comfortable shoes, right? And then there was, that party that you threw last year. God, that was the gayest party. And I was like, party? I mean, yeah, it was a fun party, but it was not a gay party. You know, but help me decide, right? So I had this party. I wanted to have a party. It was August, and I really love theme parties, right? So I was trying to figure out what could I celebrate in August. So I looked, of course, at the internet. After a while, I found that, I don't know if you know this, that the first week of August is actually International Breastfeeding Awareness Week. And I thought, breasts, awareness. All right, so this is it. I'm going to have a breastfeeding awareness party. I went right to work. I had to get the right supplies. And, you might be like, oh, did you go to Babies R Us? I'm like, no, I went to 3 different porn stores, okay? Because you got to get the right gear, So it's the day of the party, and I'm really excited. And my good friend Lenore comes walking up the sidewalk, and the first thing that she sees is this 5-foot-tall poster that I had taped to the front of my house of a topless woman massaging her breasts and feeding her baby. She's like, "You really went all out." I was like, yes, I did. More guests are starting to arrive, and I was excited to reveal my party favor table. I had these little wind-up toy, like hopping boobs. And I had these squirting, you could squirt water out of the boobs. And my favorite was the nipple beer can toppers. It was so great. And so I'm handing people beers, and they're like, you want us to drink out of these? I'm like, yes, it's a celebration of breastfeeding. I don't understand. There was boob-themed food, too. I had made these really nice boob cupcakes with carefully constructed nipples made out of icing. I had vanilla, I had mocha, I had chocolate, multicultural Hooter rainbow. And you might be wondering, was there a signature cocktail? And yes, there was. The breast milk pina colada that you could kind of massage out of the dispenser with the... Now, my husband... you remember him. He thought the whole boob thing was, pretty great. He's a straight man. And, I would say that the reaction of the other guests was mixed. Some people thought it was funny. Other people just thought it was kind of weird, because I didn't have a baby. Just missing element there. So by the end of the night, after a few breast milk pina coladas, I was standing in front. I had pictures of me taken, of me standing in front of the giant poster, pretending to suckle from the 2-foot-wide jugs of the topless woman. See, sometimes it just takes you a long time to realize things about yourself. But here's what I think. Better late than never, right? Yeah. Because today I am married to an amazing woman with boobs. And at my house, let me tell you, it is a boob party every day.